What's up, boys and girls? Long time no see. No, I didn't shrink that much. The car would appear to be 4x4 stance right now. So got a lot of explaining to do because I haven't recorded in over a week. Yeah, sorry about that. But I'll explain in a minute. So if you're not into a talking type video, this probably ain't the place to be. So I've got a lot of stuff to go over because a lot of stuff's changed. So we got to just bring you up to date and back up to speed. So hopefully we can get back to normal videos. And we'll explain why that week-long absence. I'm sorry, but we'll get there. As you can see, the car is in the air, and we have figured out a couple small things. One thing I found a leak. I haven't fixed it yet, but it's on this wastegate here. That's why it's in the air partially. It's not all the reason why it's in the air. We're going to do something on the front suspension later. We'll actually make a video just for that. One thing I haven't covered, though, is I have a bar back here now, as you can see. And I have my shocks there. I got to put a brace on it. It's there. And the shocks will be here and there. I've got to move all the mounts and everything. Right now we're just test fitting to make sure we have clearance because we have all the spacers off. We had a problem with the tires touching the springs. And that's the only reason why I'm moving them. Other than that, I'm fine with everything they did. They were doing wonderful. They were doing good work. And I couldn't go out that way further because I was hitting the lip of the car, and I've done beat that thing mercilessly. So the next logical thing is to move the shocks inboard. So I've got to get the mounts down below done. Everything up above is done. They're mounted in. The bar's in. I just haven't painted the bar yet. So that's all I got to do that. It is welded beyond welded, and it ain't going nowhere. So that's one thing we're doing. And like I said, we knew we had, when I first unloaded off the trailer, I had dropped the butt of the car down a 1/4 inch, and then I had to put the 120 pounds of weight in the back, and it was scrubbing its brains out. And we went ahead and ran the 3 passes Friday night with it scrubbing. That's what we call about dancing with the devil here now, okay? And then we raced it Saturday at the No Prep event, and it was rubbing its brains out everywhere. I don't have any parts of my tires that specifically wore, but we could hear it rubbing, and you can see a few witness marks here and there. If you look right there, you can actually see that mark right there. So yeah, these tires might be on their last legs, so it might be time to get some new Hoosiers because, well, we sent it, boys and girls, because we didn't have any other options at that point. I could have jacked the ass of the car up, but then I would have had to figure out the whole suspension shit again, stuff and things. So just doing that simple bar, that means I had to relocate that tank. That tank actually was further back that way and further this way, so now it's closer to the center. I can't get it quite center because I got to move that fuel line. I didn't want to move everything. I had to move power wires, move those lines there. Move a lot of stuff just to get that stuff inboard. Nothing major, but it's just one thing after another. You start one thing, you start another. It's like, how much crap do I got to take out of this car just to move this bar? And it's quite a bit. And the next thing I can do is I can get under here. I'm going to take these adjuster brackets off the back here. You probably can't see them very well. I'll put the light up. You can probably see over there. I have multiple space adjusters for the shocks. I'm going to take them off, and then I'm going to weld the brackets onto the axle tube to hold those in place, and that's what the shock's going to bolt to. So I'll be able to adjust my shocks up and down as need be for whatever that purpose would serve for me at that particular day. Because I don't know, I do a lot of weird things, and I like to think things out, but sometimes I do dumb things. And probably running it the other day, there's a mark right there. You see that? Yeah, that's probably pretty dumb. But anyway, we showed up. We sure as hell didn't show out. Depressing in a way, but that's the only way you learn. You got to go out there, and you're going to fail. If you stay home and you type on your computer all day, you're never going to learn anything. So you got to go fail a few times before you can go win. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. So we're going to go fail some more, but we're going to learn a lot, and we did learn a lot the other day. So we think that's part of the issue there, and part of the spool up problem would definitely be that leak on that wastegate up front. Now let's go look at the tow pig. Tow pig's got some interesting things. Tow pig, but you see it does have a rocker replaced on it now. He's got the other side. We'll do that tomorrow. It started raining, so we had to stop. But that rocker is on, and the windshield's fixed. So it's good to go. But this is not the tow pig. This is more of a daily drive truck. But it did substitute the tow pig the other day when this other truck behind me we're going to show you decided it didn't want to cooperate. This fine piece of motor equipment has been a cantankerous SOB here lately. It ate 2 lifters out of it. We had to fix that. 8 distributor gear. We fixed that. The cam is all in perfectly good shape, which is weird as shit in the world. The cam gears look great. All the lobes on the cam look fine. So took the intake completely off, put the lifters in it, put the little doggy bones back on it, put a brand new Delphi distributor in it, fought around with the timing on it, and finally got it lined up, and it did not throw a 1343 or a 1345 code. If you know anything about a Vortec engine, you know it's the bane of your existence. So that's there, but for some reason it likes to idle very rough, but once you get going it smooths out very nicely. It's very weird. Also, as you can see, it has a pair of new 20x12s on it, and not so new tires, but new to it tires, and that necessitated a 3-inch lift in the front, and the back is actually stock. So we haven't lifted the rear yet. We will be lifting the rear. The problem with the front is right now is when I did the key 3-inch keys in it, I have the front upper ball joint in a stupendous bind, and it's in such a bind that this thing rides like a buggy. So they make control arms for it that offset it, and they make spacers for it. We have the spacer coming for right now with a brand new ball joint, because it's 1/3 of the price of the upper control arm, and all I gotta do is drill the holes for the ball joint out, put that in there, and see if that corrects the issue. And then at some point this thing's going to get a full-on proper 6 inches up in the air. But right now we're trying to get it back to where it can drive. The wheels kind of just happened. It wasn't intended, and kind of regret it in some ways now putting them on there, because it left all the other problems when I could have just had the other wheels on it and it rode perfectly fine. But hey, it's tougher than a $2 steak sitting here, so it's got that going for it, and we will get around that. So that's why you didn't see it tow last week, was the whole lifter issue, and then obviously now this lift issue here is causing a little bit of melee with it. But it is a bad mofo. The AC is fixed. Also, the AC compressor took a shit in it. We fixed that. I mean, it's been quite a fun couple of weeks here, but a week actually. So I mean, there's that right there. But like I said, it is on its path to getting better. We just got to get that ball joint out of that bind. I don't know if you can see this or not, but you know, you can tell me anything below. I'm not a four-wheel drive king. I've never been claimed to be a four-wheel drive king, but there you go. Get you some of that. That is definitely a problem. So that is just connected for right now, so we can make sure that wasn't holding it up. It has gotten better. When we got it back, the tire store had the tires at 70 psi. I dropped it down to 40, and it started riding better. But it is still stupendously rough. And the other thing we did do, we got some shock extenders coming and some new shocks for it. So we're going to get some better shocks in it and get the extenders in it so it can help to travel on it. Chase is doing chase things there. Figure it out now. Hopefully. Working on some of the tune-up issues. One of the things I did notice, and I was up and it lets back down real fast. We worked on the ramp end of the boost. Apparently I had too much delay from when I let go of the button to when it ramped. Now, since it's in there anyway, I'm going to change the motor oil in it, and I am going to drain the transfer and put a new filter in it, just to make sure that's not a problem, and check the pan, see how bad it is. Look at Happy Skippy here. Happy Skippy, that's your new nickname on the channel, Happy Skippy. All right, it is now Wednesday. You see that is all on and in place. We're going to have to cut up in here, most likely where that spring perk used to be. I'll probably cut a little bit of that out. Good thing that's not structural. This big box is, that's not. So, and it'd be the same thing on the other side. So I can actually get it in. Then I want to have it, you can see right there. That's what I'm talking about there. Right now it's going to clear where the car goes up. That's going to hit the crown of the tire. So I got to get rid of that little section right there. This week I can go ahead and set this car down a little bit further. That would be awesome if I could squat the back down just a little bit further, because it needs it. We don't like 4x4 stance around here. We want plenty of suspension travel. But that should be about that. Like I said, I've got to actually, since it's not moved one way or the other, I actually wrote my measurement on each side of the car there. I got that from there, and then because obviously this pad is not perfectly flat, so to make sure, and I have this at right there, so when I set it right back down where it came from, I can measure it and see how much I'm off and make sure I adjust it accordingly. And then hopefully I can set it down a little bit further. That's 24 5/8. Look at this side over here. I think it's 24 and a half. So we're only 1/8 of an inch out. And that would be contributed to the fact this floor is not perfectly even at all. Trust me, I can tell you I've had water on it. There ain't nothing even about it. But heck yeah, puke tank's back in. It's all bolted down. Also, all the rest of the crap didn't move. So heck yeah, I'm happy. Not the best, not the worst. It definitely ain't going nowhere. And then also the shock towers back together. So those are tied together. So then I have a place when I bring my cage back through the, reason being for that little lapse in time was my mother has dementia, and we had to go clean her apartment out the other day and spend a little bit of time doing that. And it's kind of hard emotionally to get through that, to watch somebody decorate and go down that slippery hill there. So it's been a little rough, but I'll manage, because many people have done it just like me. I'm not the only one, and I really feel bad for her, not necessarily me. But it's tough watching a loved one go through that, and it's terrible because you know how they used to be, and now they're nothing like they were. It kind of stinks. I guess that's just life. Ain't nothing I can do to change it, unfortunately. But so that's been a little rough. That's why you hadn't seen me, because I've been dealing with that and just not generally feeling like doing race car shit. Even though I have been doing race car shit here and there, I just haven't been balls to the walls after like I normally am. But we're gonna get back into it here harder and get this car ready so we get back out to the track. It's already been a week, and it's been a week too long. It needs to get back out there, but probably got another week or so before it goes back, because we gotta take care of a few things. I don't know if I'm gonna do the camshaft this round.